gentlemen, the Uncutt Podcast.
Really going to be stunned by Horowitz, and then I had it all in the palm of my hand, but now I got a body in the back of my head. I couldn't wait three more rounds, but I can say there's many things that set it all.
The best intro in podcasts. I say it every fucking week, and I mean it every fucking week. It's the best.
Do you mean the video or the flexing?
The flexing is a thing that you do. I decided to go gold chain this week. I think that's going to be a new thing for me.
Sport that, dude. Let me see that.
I think it's tacky as fuck, so I'm just going to run with it.
That's
But if I'm going tacky, I'm going to go super tacky and wear a Matt Cardona shirt too, and just run with it. I'm sure our guest this week is really going to fucking love my Matt Cardona shirt, I think.
Speaking of T-shirts, this one was made tribute to me by the one and only TJ Vegas.
The same dude that made the best intro in fucking podcast, and the guy who made the intro clip that I'm about to play here in just a second for our guest this week, Emil Jay. But first, I said it on Twitter earlier. It's time to make a major announcement about the future of the Uncutt podcast. We're not shutting down for all the fucking haters. Not that we have any, but somebody probably does. I don't know. Fuck 'em.
Oh yeah, jealousy's a bitch.
Yeah, but I think we've got on a few people's radars, including the great people over at the Drive-In Podcast Network. My good buddy Ricky Valero, who I've known for 15 years, back when he used to be a New York gangster in the Southern indie scene. Starting tonight, everything's going to be on the Drive-In Podcast Network,
Nice,
Music
man.
City Drive-In. So if you want to find us, we're going to be on there as well. They have a lot of great shows on their network. They cover movies, they cover sports, fantasy sports, music. They got a lot of great shows, and we're going to fill the wrestling niche for the Drive-In Podcast Network.
It's our pleasure.
Dude, it's our pleasure. We love it. We are super proud to be a part of this. It's a great opportunity for us. We tell everybody, just word of mouth. That's the best way to find out about us, best way to get people to listen to our show. I mean, we've had great interviews with, Fonzie and Tank and Kerry Awful and John Wayne Murdoch,
Jeremiah Plunkett.
We've got huge names coming up in November and December.
Speaking of which, like I was asking you earlier, make sure that Anthony
Anthony Henry?
Anthony Henry, yeah, name escaped me for a minute, because before now he's a blazing superstar, but before, when he went Uncut, he was just ready to blossom, but now he's
exactly. But now, after being on the show last week, he had a banger with Minoru Suzuki last weekend. He was on AEW Dark this week against Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
I'm not going to take credit. I'm also not going to say we weren't partially responsible.
I'm just saying, dude, we have a track record. When you come on this show, good things happen to you.
So let's hope that continues this week with our guest, who's going to be a part of two amazing GCW shows this weekend. JCW, I'm sure he's going to be at Hybrid Wrestling this weekend. He's going to be all over Atlantic City. Our guest this week, Emil Jay.
And you know what it is. It's MVP all fucking day!
Yeah, hey. I spend time behind my own lines, and I don't waste time, no why would I wait? You see the waist, I slide, just sticks in my right, put a pipe and knife, you're not safe. You don't wanna see my night, mind and feel the rub, when got rum in the butter, cold case. Wake up and I see the sunshine, that got me wondering, matter of fact, I'm living out straight. Yeah, I got a pizza, honey buns, I flip your onion, load your money, I lock it in my safe. Better get my mouse to get gone before this shit must make a bitch, I leave her a no taste. Hiding the stars of Quasar, Sergeant Major, type of river, I put her in broad day. Hold a minute, pauses, good bars, and I would discharge, and anyone stepping in my way. Hey, the block of Big Josh, that shit holla, re-ride. You can see it come from both ways. We look at the cost to get lost. Smoking in the store to kick rocks. Put it on your head, my hat's off. No cap, blast your cap off.
Dude.
Where's he at?
Kills it.
Where's he at?
Was having a little camera issues this week, but the man, the myth, the greatest ring announcer in the sport today. All due respect to my other friend Larry Legend, Emil Jay is with us tonight.
Hey,
Emma,
yo, what's up?
welcome.
Thank you. That video fucking rules. It features a clip, like, okay, the clip of me getting punched in the arm by the young child. I've never seen that angle before.
Yes.
Like,
Uncut.
I was like, yo, I have never seen it from that camera angle before. I didn't even realize that little girl was still in the ring when I was being assaulted by that young man. Because she left the ring traumatized. That poor little girl.
No.
That
They're
kid
gonna
went
grow
into
up
business
and
for himself. Started shooting on me and.
the funny part is that kid is now Nick Wayne. People don't know that.
Stop. I mean, the math checks out. I mean, almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's either Nick Wayne or fucking Jordan Oliver, maybe. I don't know.
Might be Jordan Oliver. Fuck, dude. Jordan Oliver, who is very, very good at graps, as I feel the need to mention every time I watch a GCW show. I bring up the fact that Jordan Oliver, very good at graps.
I love that kid. Like, I was there for his first match ever. Like, we were just on the same show, and then that was January 2016, and I think 2016, or it could have been 2017. One of the two.
Yeah.
And then no, definitely 2016. What am I talking about? It's got to be. Man, I'm bugging.
Man,
I don't know. I've been doing this shit for a hot minute, so
you've been around for a fucking while, man. Like
almost 13 years, man.
Yeah, dude. Like I was telling you when we first talked. Like I remember watching you on CZW shows like forever and a fucking day ago, and being like, "This guy's pretty fucking good. I dig this."
Yeah, I was doing a indie promotion called Force One before that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so and hopefully one day that shit gets on IWTV or something like that, because Force One was an awesome promotion. If you don't for the uninitiated, Force One was basically a place that was a existing independent, not shindy, but they weren't bringing in the people that they would bring in were Danny Doring and Stevie Richards, guys those are the big guys that they would bring in, but they would just use local indie guys and then people in their school, their students. But then Sam it went through ownership changes. Sammy Callahan became the booker, and then we started using guys from CZW, Chikara, Ring of Honor, our own guys from New York, guys from all over the place, and it was the only place you could see a lot of these matches happen, because we were taken from all these different spots that normally didn't fuck with each other. It was a good time. Check it out.
So what was I mean, obviously you've been a wrestling fan forever. Just reading the shit that you put on Twitter, I'm like, fuck, somebody else remembers this? But what was the moment where you were like, I need to get in the wrestling business?
Oh, that happened that was an accident. It was never supposed to happen. I never I remember okay, so my thing is I was so big into the indie wrestling scene in the mid 2000s that when I got my license, the only thing I wanted my license for was to go to indie wrestling shows wherever I could go, within an hour, 2 hours, whatever. I'd be there. I'd drive there. I'd go there. But I just always just was a fan. I never dreamed of being involved. But since I went to all these places consistently, I was once a fan starts coming to the shows so much, you start to be recognizable to the people that are working in the building and the wrestlers and stuff, because it's familiarity. And I was coming around to everything, and I remember getting an invite I remember getting an invite from DJ Hyde in 2007, before I started. He was like, yeah, you should come to the school, fucko. That's exactly how he said it to me. He called me fucko. Like, I don't know. Like, he's a
super
weird dude.
professional.
Yeah. No, that was 2008. I'm sorry, but like in 2007, like I went to Force One. I went to their first show, and the next day I was waiting tables at TGI Fridays, and I overhear the guy telling his kids like what happened at the show, and like they're like typing it up, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And it turns out that he was involved in the show, and they were writing up the results to post on the website. So I was like, oh, like, hey, I was at that show. It was pretty cool. I liked it. Like, da da da. And I'm like, oh, I go to all these. I told him I was like, oh, I'm going to like Ring of Honor, CZW, and Chikara, da da da. But this Force One, this is awesome. I love it. It's like right here, and the guys are good. Like fucking White Lotus is there. Breaker Moran, like, yeah, those guys rule. Okay, cool. So then we developed a rapport. And then, like, he was like, oh, would you ever want to do anything? I'm like, oh, maybe, like, commentary one day I think would be fun. And then, like, he kind of just kept it in mind until, like, the first Force One show was May of 2007. And then the first show that I ever worked was November 2008. So basically, like, I just get to the venue, this Force One show, and like 5 minutes before bell time, I remember it's a torrential downpour outside. The weather was not good. That's what made me get to the show. Like normally I like to get there like beforehand and hang out. Like, but I was like 5 minutes before bell time. It was very wet, and the guy John Solo, he found me. He was like, "Oh, hey, do you still want to do commentary? Like, would you still be interested in doing that?" And I go, yeah, that would be cool. He goes, all right, yeah, awesome. You're on match number 4. I said, what? Excuse me? He said, yeah, I told the promoter that you know a lot about Breaker Morant. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like I say to him, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm very familiar with Breaker Morant. I've seen him wrestle a whole bunch of times. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck do I know about Breaker Morant? Like, I'm not, I don't know. Like, I'm like my whole brain just like went like haywire. So like I went and did the match, and like I have a DVD of it, and it's terrible. Like, I don't even know how to talk in an entertaining fashion. Like, I'm so meek, like soft spoken.
Were you doing it by yourself, or were you doing it as part of a tandem?
No, I was with I was with John Solo and like his regular partner, and they were like, oh, we're doing this new thing at Force One, we're gonna have a fan's perspective. And he was like, one of the guys, he comes to almost all of our shows, big fan, here comes Emil. And I'm like, hey, but I guess the way I used to speak was a lot different, like before, just coming out of my shell and having to do it for entertaining purposes, But like that first match, I'm like, and I'm like, wow, this is bad.
How were you critiqued afterwards? Were they like, oh, that was a real good job, man? Or were they like, yeah, you need some work?
So basically what happened was I did that match and I stuck around like next to the guy, like whatever, and I'm like, something happened where there was an open seat, so I hopped on for another match, which was cool. And then I was like, after the show, I was like, okay, I want to do this now. So tell me when and where I have to go to be with you guys, because I knew they were at school too. I was like, tell me what day, what time, where, and I will be at the school.
That's some Nick. That's some good marketing right there to get people to go to your wrestling school. Hey, come and be a ring announcer for a day, and then it's like you find out, hey man, this is cool. And
it's you get the drug, man. It's that first taste.
Yeah.
First one's free.
You either hate it or you're stuck for fucking ever, dude.
So like
15 years of my fucking life, dude. I feel it.
the cool thing about this particular place, it was owned by Iron Man Tommy Cairo of early ECW fame. Like he was the
Nice.
guy. Uh, so he used to also promote these this promotion called Outlaws of Wrestling, and those shows would take place at the Tropicana Casino in Atlantic City, and I went to two of those shows, and
That's where they used to do Glow, isn't it?
uh, I think Glow is in Vegas.
Yeah, Glow was at the Tropicana in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But so it's my second or third time going to the training school. Tommy Cairo's there, and I'm like, oh hey, whatever. He pulls out this photo book, and he opens it up because I remember telling him like, oh yeah, like Outlaws of Wrestling. I used to go to that when I was a kid. He's like, oh yeah, I got this photo book. And like this is me like trying to get in their good graces. Like, oh, I remember all of you guys from like all these different shows, and like Tommy Cairo, I remember you. You used to do this. I used to go to your shows. Da da da. So I'm trying to get in their good graces. So he pulls out this photo book. He opens it. He's like, oh yeah, this is one of the Outlaw shows. And then he turns the page. The mid like it's one of those photo albums where it's like skinny enough for like three regular size like Kodak pictures or whatever.
Like a narrow book, like a narrow album.
Yeah, and it's like top, middle, bottom. He turns the page in the middle picture, right directly in the middle of the middle picture. I said, "Oh shit, that's me! Look." And there I was. And Tommy lost his mind. He's like, oh my God, you're not kidding. That was you. I said, yeah, right there, right in the middle of your goddamn picture. And he, like, from that moment on, I was good to go. Good to go.
Love it.
All right, hey, getting to your wrestling fandom. Like when you started off as a fan for wrestling, who were your favorites and the most hated wrestlers that you watched when you first started watching wrestling, and have those changed since you become gotten into the business?
Let's see. First, let's see. Favorites. My first favorite wrestler ever was The Undertaker. I really liked The Undertaker a lot in mid-1995. I thought he was really cool. Was always a big Bret Hart fan. I always, like, when he debuted on ECW even, the first time I saw Rey Mysterio Jr. and Psicosis do their thing, I was like, oh my God, what is this? I was actually, like, I was a super big fan of, like, Marty Jannetty. Like, I have this list. I have a top 10 list that I wrote in 1995. I was like, WWF top 10. And it literally goes like Undertaker, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Marty Jannetty. Like, fucking
What are you laughing about, Nick?
And it goes like Hakushi, Barry Horowitz, like Savio Vega, Goldust, Bam Bam Bigelow. Like, no one to be found on my top 10 list as an 8-year-old in 1995. No Diesel, no Shawn Michaels. Oh, I fucking love Barry Horowitz.
Hey, Barry Horowitz was the shit.
Oh, I mean,
Dude, when he beat Skip, oh my God, that was so cool.
Oh my God, the biggest babyface pop.
Yeah. Like, he got him with that 3/4 Nelson. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was like one.
He was in the middle of doing the push-ups.
No, here's the thing. Here's a fun little tidbit. So, the Horowitz wins thing occurred, I want to say, the second weekend of July 1995. I could be off, but it was around that point in time. On the June 4th, 1995 episode of Monday Night Raw, they do a Barry Horowitz versus Skip match where they tease that Barry Horowitz is going to beat Skip. And and then Skip beats him. But in that match, he does pull out the 3/4 Nelson out of the push-up routine. Almost gets him. That's a fun match. Like, if you dare traverse Peacock to look up the season 3 episode buttfuck of Monday Night Raw. I don't know. It was June 4th, 1995. That's all I know.
Now, Marty
I
Jannetty.
am just shocked that the fact that July 9th, 1995 was when he pinned Skip, and I'm just shocked that you knew the date. Like,
That's remarkable.
I thought a lot of times I watch you and I'm a big fan because like we both love battle rap, and
Yes.
I just kind of like identify with you on that level, and then like because I did ring announcing a lot when I was in the business, and like I'll randomly pull out facts like that, and people just stare at me funny, and then you'll say something, and I'm like, somebody else knows that random fact about wrestling. Holy fuck! Or you'll say something, I'm like, I didn't even know that. How?
It's like a hidden little gem.
Oh man, what the Barry Horowitz thing that fucked me up. I had a whole question. Oh, so in GCW,
Yes, game changer.
obviously, yeah, game changer. Let's talk about game changer for a minute. We'll talk about this weekend a little bit later, but obviously there's a ton of death matches. Nick Gage Invitational, Tournament of Survival. Have you ever watched a death match and you're like, these motherfuckers might have just gone too far?
Yeah, all the time. all of the fucking time. Like, these guys are insane. These people, I should say, because we got some ladies running around doing it too. Like, fuck, like anybody that does deathmatch wrestling and does it like not anybody.
There we go.
But people that do deathmatch like good, like these people are just insane. Like they're superhuman. They're aliens to me. Like I don't understand how they're able to go through all of this and still like do the match and like know what's next and like fucking like what? How? You're sweating and bleeding and you've got shit sticking in you and you hurt. Like, how do you remember to do the waist lock reversal into the fucking like what? What are you doing? You guys are machines.
A guy's gargling his teeth, dude. And then how's he gonna tell the other dude it's time to go home?
Right. Right, yeah, we're good. And they come to the back, they're bleeding from like 94 parts of their body. I'm like, are you good? And they're like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's all good.
What do you
All right,
mean?
I got a question from one of our listeners. Irish Devil Douglas O'Shea wants to know: have you ever called a match and maybe said the guy's name wrong or said the wrong name, and maybe they got pissed off about it and charged you or anything like that ever happened?
Never to a point where anybody got mad. Like at Homecoming, I forgot Drew Parker's first name, like in the middle of introducing him. Like it dawned on me, like as I was halfway through his intro, that I forgot his first name, and I was like I don't think you could tell by like looking at me, but like at that point in time, like I'm looking at his gear for just like any hint, and all it says is his last name. Like, fuck, I know his last name already. I don't need that information. I need his first name. Like, I'm freaking out in my head about it. I'm like, oh, I don't know this guy's name as I'm like saying his shit. And then like, okay, his last name is Parker. What's his first name? This is all my internal monologue. And then I go, oh. And for some reason, I wanted to call him Travis because Parker reminded me of Travis Barker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew that was wrong. I kept I was like, no, this is wrong. So then I finally had to lean over to Chris Levine. I was like, what's this guy's first name? And then he he didn't hear me at first. And he was like, what? I said, his first name. What's his fucking first name? What's his name? Like, I'm freaking out.
Dude, that would have been a good rib. That would have been a good rib. His name's Stan.
Because like to me, like this thing felt like it took like 25 seconds of me just like standing there like not knowing anything. It was like when I watched it back, it was like literally like 1.2 seconds. Like it was very quick. But I was so, and then like as that's happening, Drew Parker, he turns around, like as he's posing at the ropes, he turns around and looks at me. He goes, "You forgot my fucking name, didn't you?" And I go, and I say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Drew Parker," or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was fun. Like, and then like the next day, like later that night, like we're like hanging out, and I'm like, yeah, about that, dude. He's like, "Oh, no problem. That shit was funny. That guy is very nice."
That was
He
right
could've been,
before
like,
he wrestled
super
Alex,
pissed.
right?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
Because I just want to remind myself, so I have that mental note to go watch that show as soon as we get done here.
Yeah,
Putting it on its queue.
But
Yeah, 'cause that was the
talked-
first night. The second night he wrestled Jimmy in the
yeah,
afternoon.
that one was good too. Yeah. So we've talked about the intro that did not go so well, but I think the one that went really well and literally gets quoted with me and my friends, like, and we're like, let's just watch it again. Is definitely this one. And if anybody hasn't seen this video and you're not hyped after the next 90 seconds of your life, you're literally living the wrong life and you should just kill yourself.
Introducing first to my right, he is the challenger. Fighting out of National Park, New Jersey, with an official weight of 208 pounds, representing that murder, death, kill gang worldwide, representing for all his boys locked in the fucking cell, Eastern Bloc, representing the motherfucking hate club. Rest in peace, Big Nate Hatred. Rest in peace, his brother, Justice Payne. And you know what it is. It's MDK. It's MDK. It's MDK. The man, the king, the fucking god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage.
Fuck.
So I've always said you looked like you were ready to fight Ricky Shane Page after you got done with that intro.
Yeah, if you would have had a bow tie, if you would have had a bow tie on, I thought you were the one about to fight.
It was like,
Bro,
I
I couldn't fight anybody at that point in time. The only thing I was fighting was like the cramp that I gave myself in my stomach as I was saying, like at the when I was saying like Nick fucking Gage, like I literally began to feel my stomach cramp up because I was like putting so much emphasis into it. Yeah, I would have been curtains.
Yeah, dude, I will forever say that is maybe my favorite ring introduction I've ever seen. Just because it was like that moment had such a build to it. I mean, that was what a year and a half, almost 2 years at that point of build to that fucking match. And it just everything came together. I thought the match was really good, and from that kickoff of the intros, of them just walking to the ring and the fans fucking just shitting on Ricky and doing what they always do for Gage to your deal.
Ricky starting in the balcony was awesome.
Yeah.
Like
and the fact
that
that he comes
shot,
out to bring me the horizon is great for me. So
oh, I love it. He's awesome. Like but yeah, like you were saying, like the whole culmination of everything coming together, that's really what, like, because like not only was it like the thing with Ricky and Nikki, but you have Gage coming back after his injury that took him out for 8 months. Like,
Yeah.
it's WrestleMania weekend after, not after COVID, but like, you know.
Yeah, the first time you could draw that kind of house.
Right. And it's a big weekend, and it was the first time that I had traveled in a long time for a wrestling show, because I didn't go to the Collective in Indiana in October last year, because my folks were like pretty skittish on me going. So I was like, you know what, if y'all aren't comfortable, I won't go. So I didn't go, like whatever. But so I was like, okay, like I was extra motivated, because I'm like, fuck, like, you know, it feels like we're back to normal to a little bit of a degree. Like, this is, like, it feels like big time shit. Like, Nikki's coming back. Like, it's a big match. Like, there's going to be a lot of people here. A lot of people are going to be looking at GCW. And, like, man, you know what? Like, I take, like, going into that day, or that weekend, April, the second weekend of April in 2021, how many months ago was that? 6 months ago?
Yeah.
And then, like, okay, so that seemed like it was going, like, that was like, wow, we accomplished something. At least that's the way I felt. But then, look, 6 months later, like, fuck. We,
Yeah, dude,
like, like every weekend that we do, we're like eclipsing spring break to a degree. Like, not like spring break is always going to be like a pinnacle, but like everything's hitting on all cylinders, no matter what the card is, no matter what the matches are, no matter what town we're in. Like, everything fucking hits. The energy's there. Like the in ring is always fire. Like, the people are into everything. It's like, I really feel like that, but that point, that spring break, that was really like the fucking rocket that started taking off for GCW. Because since then, like, it's been no looking back.
It
No
almost
looking
feels
back.
like that moment should have been like the climax, like that should have been the pinnacle.
Right,
And that
right.
was just the fucking beginning. Like I know a lot of like my friends down here in Tennessee, right? Like they don't watch a lot of Northeast stuff. Like, I'm kind of the minority down here. And
Right.
you know, I was like, no. Just watch this. Just watch this show. And if you don't like it, you never have to fucking watch it again. I'll keep spending my fucking $20 every weekend to watch it. I don't give a fuck. You know, but like, I show them that and they're like, when's the next show? You know,
Right.
then it's now like required viewing. Like, when GCW has a weekend, like on a Sunday, it's me and my brother sitting there all Sunday and watching both shows. You know, like, even if I have to lie and be like, no, I didn't watch the first one already. It's cool. Like, no one, I watched everything Friday night. But
I thought I was the
like,
only kind of person that did shit like
no,
that.
like this weekend, will I have watched all 5 shows probably by the time I get to my brother's? More than likely. But
You'll watch them again, goddammit.
I sure as fuck will, because this
You ever-
weekend.
Do you ever like? I've done this before on other shows and stuff. Do you like? I'll watch something. I won't tell somebody I'm watching with it that I've already watched it, and then
Oh, yeah.
like, when something's about to happen, you're like, "Oh shit! Wait, well,
Yeah. Oh no.
fuck.
That show actually, Spring Break. I had to completely no sell Moxley. I had to be like,
wonder what's gonna happen."
because I watched it with my brother. I went over there to watch WrestleMania that Saturday. I took like the whole WrestleMania weekend off, and I went over there, and I was like, yeah, let's watch this. I can't wait to see what happens at the end. And then there's Moxley. He's like, you already fucking watched this shit, didn't you?
Yeah.
He's like, I know you. That's your fucking favorite wrestler. You should be losing your shit right now.
I feel like another thing about that weekend, that show, perhaps in particular, is like, especially during the Lucha six-man tag,
Yeah.
like, you can tell just how much fun I'm having. Like, because there was a while where, like, yeah, I go do the shows, like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I wasn't like, I was kind of going through the motions, like, whatever. Like, I'm here, I'm doing it. Like, but now, like, like I'm so reinvigorated. Like I just like it's just impossible to hide anymore, you know? Like when and
Yeah.
especially because everything is hitting so nice. Like in New York, at both Emo Fight and Get Lost a Lot, like I'm there on the stage, just like openly marking out for like these big moves and shit, just going crazy. Like, yeah, because I'm still a fan. Like, I love this shit. Like, and being in the ring, like while people are getting to do their intros, and I'm just like vibing to their songs and shit. And I'm just like, damn, man, I got a cool ass job.
You
Like,
looked
this
so
is-
ridiculously happy during Suzuki's intro. And
Where, New York or LA or both? Because the answer is both. Like I never thought that I would have a chance to ring announce for Minoru Suzuki, let alone multiple times.
yeah,
Like
Talk
it's
about.
crazy.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go ahead.
Oh, just wanted to talk about. We talked about ring announcing. We've talked about announcing. Let's talk about your time in CZW, the Dojo Wars, where you were doing the book in there for their kind of like their developmental program.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically what it was. The program started in the middle of May 2014, under, as the idea of Drew Gulak. That was his thing. It was every other week, every other Wednesday thing. 5 matches for $5. That was like the original premise. And like just to get guys and girls ring time. And whatever. But as time progressed and time goes on, like, more and more people start coming through. We go away from we would have 5 matches for $5, and then we would have a bonus match, and then oh shit, we have 2 bonus matches, and then they just got to a point in time where like 40 dudes showed up looking to get work, and we were just like trying to put the card together and stuff like that on a random Wednesday, just a big ass locker room. Okay, like it was great, but then once Drew got the call from WWF to do the Cruiserweight Classic and all that. Drew, this was in January 2016, like the 3rd week, I guess, of January 2016. He pulls me outside right before Dojo Wars. He says, hey, I'm not going to be able to be here for a while after this. I got a job opportunity. He was very like, he didn't really tell me what about. Like I honestly thought like he got like a job or something like that, or you know what I mean,
like a grown-up job.
Right, like I thought like whatever he was doing, like, oh shit, like you got to step away from wrestling or something, like that sucks. I didn't verbalize that, but that's what was going in my head. He was like, yeah, so do you want this? I said, what do you mean? He's like, Dojo Wars, like, I'll give it to you. I said, what? He goes, yeah, like 2 conditions, like, keep the Medal of Valor on Brittany Blake for as long as you can, and number 2, don't let DJ Hyde involve himself in anything. I said, okay, cool, yeah, I can do that. That's fine. He's like, yeah, you're the booker, not him. Like, you run this. He's like, this is your show now. Like, this was mine. It was mine, and now I am giving my show to you. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then like within 6 weeks, I had built up and ran a mask versus hair match and shit like that. Like I was like, you know what? Like, okay, let's just start doing different things. I remember like I ran like I did a little round robin thing, like a tiny one, like 4 people round robin tournament over the course of a few weeks. I said, oh, that was cool. The winner of this gets a title shot. Then I had a thing where we would do a thing like a shoot lethal lottery where I would put the names of everybody in a hat, and I would have fans literally pick the names out of the hat right before, like, so I would go around, I would put the hat in front of the person, they would pick a name, and I would read the name on the microphone, and they would come out to the ring, and then another fan would pick another name, and I would call that name out, and then they would wrestle.
That's
And
slick.
And I had a way to make sure who would win and who would lose, and everybody knew what the deal was. But yeah, they would have to go in there and work a match completely on the fly. So I did that a few times. I did like a version of the G1 where I did like 2 blocks of like 8 guys in a round robin. I did this one show I did, we opened with a 15-person battle royal. The winner of the battle royal got a title shot that day, and the order of elimination for 1 through 14 determined the rest of the matches. So like whoever was eliminated first wrestled whoever was eliminated second, third versus fourth, so on and so forth. Just weird random things that I thought that I would like to see. But at the same time, it was also, a teaching exercise for the wrestlers, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, in this match, you can't hit the ropes. Oh, in this match, you guys only have 2 minutes. Figure it out. Like, do everything you want to do, but do it in 2 minutes, but make it work. Just to push people, challenge. Oh yeah, you guys can't throw a punch. No punching.
Nice.
Just different challenges. And it was a lot of fun, and that was a week in, week out thing. Every Wednesday, we'd be at the dojo, and I'd be putting on. Sometimes I would be putting on like a fucking 12-match show on a Wednesday night. I felt like Ian Rotten in 2004. But you know what? Like, you got to get these kids some fucking work. You got to get their reps in, and that's what we were there for. It was a learning experience to grow and to get people working with different. When you're young, the more different people you work with, the better. Like, 'cause you get a different flavor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this I can do this, I can do this. If you just work the same 3 guys over and over again, you guys are just doing the same things over and over to a degree. I mean, you guys might enhance it through what you've already been doing, but you don't wrestle anybody that has a different perspective or a different philosophy, different psychology.
Yeah.
And that's what really helps people in the fucking business, in the sport, I should say, fucking grow as wrestlers.
So this weekend, I feel like we say this every month as GCW fans. The biggest show in company history again.
Yep.
I mean, this is the biggest match, I think, name value wise, obviously, ever. I mean, Gage versus Moxley is monstrous.
Yeah.
But what else are you excited for this weekend?
Let's see. Well, first of all, I'll just go through them. Like, I'm not going to go through like match by match or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, I'll just say this: tomorrow, like the weekend starts tomorrow, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hybrid Wrestling available on the GCW YouTube, streaming for free. I'll be on commentary for that. It's got a cool lineup. It's got like a 4-way women's scramble. Like, the thing with Hybrid, they book a lot of women. They book a lot of women's wrestlers. Like, and it's cool to see them in that environment. It's cool to see a big rep. Like, it's Hybrid isn't a women's wrestling company. It's not a men's wrestling company. It's just a wrestling company, and they sort of divide it almost evenly, and that's a nice thing to see. I like that out of them. Big Vin is going to be wrestling on that show. I think it's going to be Hokai and Big Vin against Young, Dumb, and Broke. Big Vin
Ro-
fucking rules. That's
Robbie, you'll
911's
appreciate
son.
this. I was about to say 911's kid, Robbie.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
No way. How big
Yeah.
is he?
he's big. He fits the
He's
name.
about, I would say, let's see, because I'm like 6'2", or I'm just under 6'2", and he's a few inches taller than me, and he's like a solid, like at least 250.
Yeah,
Maybe
he throws a choke slam
275.
just like his daddy too, which is nice.
Emil, you gotta hook us up.
He rules. Yeah, Big Vin is
After the
awesome. So I'm looking forward to Hybrid, and then next day, Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, also on the GCW YouTube channel for free, will be JCW Jersey Championship Wrestling. Another cool trios match involving Young, Dumb, and Broke. They're going to be wrestling Edith Surreal, Frightmare, and Hollow Wicked. That's a cool match. The main event, the title of the show is Locked Up, and the main event is a cage match between Everett Connors and Charles Mason. So that's cool.
had an amazing build.
It sure has.
And Charles
Absolutely.
Mason is ridiculous. That kid is going to be a fucking megastar. And so will Everett
He's sick.
Connors, but
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like both of them. Like that whole thing has been nice. You got John Wayne Murdoch on that show on JCW.
our first guest.
Our first guest.
Trying to think. Like there's a bunch of stuff. Bunch of good stuff on Jersey Championship Wrestling at 1 o'clock. They got a scramble going on. They got the trios match. They got the cage match. They got a scramble. They got a bunch of things on that. And then at 8 o'clock, Fight Club. Of course, that's Cage, Moxley for the belt. Cardona, Effie, career versus title. You got the debut of Akira in Game Changer. That's pretty cool. People seem to like that. You got another really cool looking scramble. Like Jimmy Lloyd, ASF, a bunch of dudes in that. I know I'm missing something. I can't remember. Oh, on JCW, Grim Reaper is wrestling Nick Wayne. That's a pretty cool match.
That'll be wild.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a nice ground and pound contest.
Yeah, I think so.
Just slow and methodical.
Yeah.
Old school
Until Reaper wants to jump
Arm
on
bars.
Until Reaper does the first 450 with a fucking blunt in his mouth.
Right.
They do that?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh,
Grim
yeah.
Reaper fucking... He hits the booth the entire match, Robbie. You'd love him.
All right, I got two more questions, and I'm going to throw it to Nick for the last question. So first off, fans are assholes. They're the reason that wrestlers do what they do, and that they're in business. But a lot of them are assholes. A lot of them are screwed up. If you could say anything you want to those fans, what would it be? And then the other question I have for you is, I want to know who your favorite ring announcer of all time is. Are your favorite commentators?
Ooh. Okay. So first question first, like basically to like the fans that are just like assholes, like, and like is that like
assholes, like the ones that are coming out opinionated, the ones that are coming out going, oh, they shouldn't have done this. Why don't you do this? Oh, I would have booked it this way. Oh, that guy don't got no skill on the mic.
Okay. So here's what I say. There's a few options that you can take. You could like if you're not enjoying yourself when you watch it, don't watch it. Watch something else. Watch something you enjoy. Or B, and this isn't to be like, not to sound like a tough guy or anything like that, but like if you think that you can do better, fucking try to do it. Like I'm all for criticisms. I'm all for critiques. But like damn, like at least make the criticism constructive. Like at least like like come from a perspective that is helpful instead of just like if you're just tearing it down to tear it down, like what are you doing with your time? Like that sucks. Like I said, there's always a time and a place for like if something's not good, something's not good. By all means, call it out. But like if you're like nitpicking over like, oh well, this should have happened here and this should have happened there and they didn't do this right. I'm like, okay, well, you try to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
See how easy it is. Yeah. And then in terms of favorite ring announcer, my goodness.
Besides yourself, of course.
Okay, hold on. Let me blow my nose real quick. I'm stuffy, and I'm gonna think about this for 1 second.
That's class right there, Nick.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is like it's just talking to northern me at this point.
Mute. I was talking
I have to
about
blow my nose half the time too because I sound like this.
Oh, man, I'm going through it, man. The sinuses are no joke. But favorite ring announcer. I tell you what, I really like me some Gary Michael Capetta.
Yes, sir.
I like David Penzer.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work with both of those guys, which was awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. In terms of WWF, of course, Finkel was fantastic. Here's a dark horse. I'm not saying that he's the best or anything like that. But when you go back and you watch WrestleMania 2, the portion that they had in Chicago, I really, really like Chet Kopic. I don't know why. I might be the only person with this opinion ever, but I really like the way that he was fucking ring announcing that show.
Wasn't it? I thought it was Ernie. Wasn't it Ernie? I thought it was Ernie Ladd. I mean, because if that was the one with the Battle Royal, right, in the boxing match.
Yeah, but Ernie Ladd was there, but he wasn't ring announcing.
Oh, ring announcing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chet Kopic was like he was a very straight-laced, like white bread-looking white guy. But like, I like the way that he was saying everything. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird.
I'm gonna go watch that, dude.
Yeah, like if you don't like it, don't blame it on me. Also, like, okay, granted, I don't understand what the fuck they're saying, but like, I really like, and I don't know their names, but when I watch classic All Japan or classic New Japan or classic AAA, like the Japanese and Mexican ring announcers would just be really good too. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I like the way that they're saying this.
They get
shit.
hype, man. They really get into it.
Animated. They get animated.
Yeah. All right, so I have
Thank
two
you, man.
questions myself.
Thank
One
you.
non-wrestling and one wrestling. Non-wrestling, we are both battle rap fans. I think we've talked about that on Twitter a couple times.
Hell yeah.
Who is your favorite battler, and what is the hardest fucking line that you ever heard somebody deliver? And the wrestling question I forgot, so I'm going to ask after I remember after you answer this question.
All right. Okay. Even though he is admittedly a bit of a weirdo, I love a verb.
Yeah. Yes.
I love a verb a lot. Like, he's like, I don't know if I have like a number one top battler ever, because like, depending on like my mood, like you could ask me like, who's your favorite battler? I'd be like, oh, Arsenal. Oh, Charlie Clips. Oh, Conceited. Oh, Ilmac. Thesaurus, like,
Yeah.
oh, Marv won. Like right now, like bill collectors on his shit right now.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
he's killing it. Like there's just so many. Big K, wow. Big
Big
T,
K's.
like I can just keep going. Like Tay Rock, K Shot, like. And I'm mostly just talking about URL here. Like I'm not even really talking about King of the Dot for the most part. I'm not really talking about RBE. Not really talking about like iBattle. Like there's tons of sick, very good battles all over the place. But those are like the first people I would name. Like that's like my top 15. I don't know if I got the 15 names, but
You got a bunch.
That was good though, yo.
and then in terms of okay, I don't know if it's the hardest line I ever heard, but for me, one of the most impactful lines, and because of what it followed, like the whole round before it, is when again I got to go to Averb to close his third against Hitman Holla when he said, "Hey yo, Big Gerald, yes sir, that's the way you talk
That's
to
the
your
way you talk to
son."
your son.
Like that. That's fucking crazy. Like I'm like yes, like I can point to 106,000 more offensive things that Arsenal may have said to somebody,
Yeah.
but it just that the way Averb approached that whole round, and like because like you knew that like Holland and Averb are homies, like you knew that Verb
Yeah.
knew this, like and you knew that like from the moment where you like grip up by the collar, you said, "Your name's Gerald. Let's show it on that holla." Like, but you're an athlete with no rep sheet. Like, fuck, like that whole thing was crazy. And then when he followed it up, calling out his dad and whoever, like, not saying like it definitely wasn't Hitman Holla's dad. I can assure you that it was probably one of Averb's boys somewhere else to make that thing work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but that whole, "Hey yo, Big Gerald, yes sir," that's the way you talk to your son. Like, fuck, that's heavy. That's heavy.
It's dude, legit. That used to be my text message tone.
Damn.
Not even lie. Again, things my wife got tired of.
Oh shit! You know what? I like when I was going through like all these rappers that I liked in battling. Like, I didn't even mention like Loaded Lux or Hitman Holla or Hollow the Don or like,
Dude.
what am I doing? Didn't mention Calico. Fucking hell. There's a lot of good rappers.
Yeah, dude. So I
Mickey
didn't
Fax.
remember the rest.
Mickey Fax when he Daylight. Fucking Daylight, bro. Like what the fuck? That guy is incredible.
I'm also going to bring up Joe Naj because I'm a big Joe Naj guy.
Who?
Joe Naj, the white
Oh
dude.
yeah.
That did the while you were playing Sega, I was reading Genesis, and then all the lights go out.
Yep.
Because that was the most wrestling fucking battle rap bit ever. Because the lights going out was obviously entirely not on purpose, but it was just like that moment in wrestling. Oh god, the lights went out. Some shit's about to happen. Got me.
Yeah.
How do I not know you're into this shit, Nick?
I'm into a lot of things. I'm a very complex man, Robbie.
We've been podcasting for like years now, literally, dude. And
I've been watching battle rap for probably 10 years now.
Dude, I got a verse.
No, Robbie, no.
I can't do a verse.
No, you cannot. You're gonna say something to get us canceled.
I promise, it won't get us canceled.
No. Anyway,
I
you can spit it later, and we'll talk about it, and we'll see if it's acceptable.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
I got one.
Emil Jay can definitely spit though.
Motherfucker.
He's the guest. He can do whatever he wants.
All right. This is from a little bit ago. Mad wrestling references. Let's see if you can catch them all. I said, there's a jealous look in your eye when you hear Emil spitting, breaking down everything you've ever built like demolition. See, I'm crushing the game, so if you have an axe to grind, these bars will leave you smashed like I am half the time. It's a shame the Cybers kid is a drunk, but that's a fact. So it's no surprise these bars is a natural habitat. Imagine that. Liquor to the liver, yeah, I'll ravage that. Taking double shots of bourbon, bang, bang. Call it Cactus Jack. It's funny that me spitting these verses that these dudes love is why they chicks spend their weekend giving my whole crew love. Dudes love that I spit like I'm a heartless tech shooter, but chicks love my tit fetish. I'm like Lex Luger. Plus, I'm narcissistic. You can't argue with looks. Forget this rapping shit. I'd rather just argue with hooks. But I'm too nice with the pen, way too clever with words. I'm Raps Leo Burke, the best if you ever have heard. I'm running the game. These bars burying poor sports. I get power from your pain, barbarian, warlord. Eating other rappers alive. I'm a cannibal when I talk. Shooting on everything in sight. I'm a fucking animal with the hawk. Screaming ensues. I'll leave your whole region with wounds. Me and Mook, the most ruthless team since the Legion of Doom. Illest out. Everything that we spit on this mic, awesome. Still in doubt? Kill yourself. Go hang with Mike Awesome.
Cutthroat.
You know what? I don't even need to ask another question. The show has peaked.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Emil, dude, it has been a fucking blast.
Absolutely.
I say this all the time. I don't even care if we do a part 2. I just want to talk to you more. I don't even. We're just gonna. You're gonna be so sick of me on Twitter by the time this is said and done.
Gotta wrap out, my
just
man.
blocked. But anyway,
good.
Brother, I'm gonna let you get your moment in. Push whatever you want to push. Your socials, the shows, whatever you want to talk about, man. The stage is all yours.
All right. So obviously this weekend, the big game changer weekend in Atlantic City. Big game changer wrestling weekend in Atlantic City at the Showboat. Yeah, I should probably figure out how to speak clearly before I have to do it for 5 shows in a row across 3 days. Hybrid 8 tomorrow, Friday. JCW 1 p.m. on Saturday. GCW 8 p.m. on Saturday. On Point Wrestling noon on Sunday. Game Changer Wrestling again at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Main event Minoru Suzuki versus Joey Janela. After that, I will be making my debut for Unsanctioned Pro. They will be doing a doubleheader on Sunday, October 17th in Columbus, Ohio. They're doing a show at 1 o'clock, and then another one, I believe, is 5 o'clock. Both of those will be airing live on IWTV. Then from there is Game Changer Wrestling again in Los Angeles. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 7 on Friday. The what is that? The 23rd? Is that?
Yeah, 22nd.
No, the 22nd. Friday the 22nd, and War Ready with Minoru Suzuki versus Nick Gage on top on the next day. And then after that, like just to finish off my October, I will be doing a local independent called Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, located at the Max Fit Sports Center in Glassboro, New Jersey on Saturday, October 30th, Mischief Night. And then the next day, I will be at the H2O FMWE Destiny event at the Trenton Ballpark in an official capacity. I will be doing a match there. I guess people can figure out what the fuck that means. I don't think it's been officially announced, but
it's not the big one?
Oh no! I'm saying like my involvement hasn't been officially announced in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if they're gonna say anything about it, but yes, I will be there for official capacity for Sushi Onita.
That was. I actually said this to my brother then. I'm like, it'd be really rad if Emil Jay was announcing Onita versus fucking Tremont in an exploding ring match.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for you. I just live vicariously through you now. It's kind of cool.
I live vicariously through myself sometimes. I can't even believe the shit that I'm doing.
Busy man, dude. We want to seriously thank you for coming on and spending some of that time with us tonight. Really appreciate it, dude. You're a cool dude. It was nice talking to you.
It was my pleasure, guys. This is all, I like getting to, do podcasts, but this one was like, this didn't even feel like a podcast. It was just a nice conversation with a couple homies. So, yeah, I love this. Goodbye,
Awesome,
man.
Well,
Thank you.
Always. All right, man. We'll holler at you later on. I will. I'll be hitting you up on Twitter in like 10 minutes, probably, because I get.
Oh, no doubt. I'll be
All right, man,
around.
see you later. Have a good one.
Be safe, y'all.
Have a good one, man. You just hoard yourself out, Nick.
I do that. It's my thing.
Man crushing.
I do. I got a little man crush on Emil Jay. I'm not even gonna lie. I told you, it's like talking to Northeast me. It's the coolest thing in the world. Like he lives the life I thought I was gonna live.
That was some fun shit, dude. That guy's smart, dude. He got some brain capacity, man. He got a memory on him, man. He was spitting those rhymes.
I called myself the wrestling encyclopedia, and he got me a couple times. So fuck.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But anyway, much fun as we had with Emil Jay. I'm sure we're gonna have just as much fun next week with Righteous Jesse from Southern Underground Pro. We're going to be previewing their big comeback show October 24th. Hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to have a really cool announcement about our involvement with the Southern Underground Pro show when we show up here next Thursday night with Righteous Jesse. Y'all think, I'm just telling y'all don't even know. I'd like to thank the Drive-In Podcast Network for getting behind us. I'd like to thank the Indie Movement for sponsoring the show, TJ Vegas for all the cool shit he does, Emil Jay for being a badass fucking guest. And with that said, I guess there's only one thing left to say. Sassy Britches, how many clicks is it?
I don't know where that came from, but to answer your question, Nick, there's 1 and then 2.
There you go. There you go. Get the head moving in there.